In this lesson, I will talk about how to determine if a function is one-to-one. The function is one-to-one if each element in the domain, which we call x, has a distinct image in the codomain we'll call y. Now, so this is what it means. A function f takes values from the domain and sends it to the codomain. So for a visual, we can say that we have this as our input. Recall that the input is the domain and we have our output. If we pick elements from the domain, let's say we have -1, we have 0, we have 1 and 2, and in the output we have -1, 1, 3 and 5. For a one-to-one function, what it means is that each element should map to exactly one image in the codomain. So we can map 1 to 3 and 2 to 5. If we look at this mapping, we can describe the relation or the function that maps the elements in the input to the output to be f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. What it means is that if we put any element from the input into the function, we'll get the elements in the output, or what we call the codomain. The key word is that one-to-one functions preserve distinction. A function is one-to-one if and only if, and this is how we write it, if and only if for all a and b. These are elements I'll pick from the set X, which is the domain, such that f of A equals f of B implies A equals B. So we see that from here we have equal output. This implies equal inputs. This is the formal definition for a one-to-one function. Another name for one-to-one is injective. So we can go up here and update our definition and put injective. So that is another name for one-to-one functions. Now let's take an example. We want to show that the function f of x defined by 1 over x plus 3 for x not equal to -3 is injective. From our definition, we know that if it is one-to-one, implies if their outputs are the same, and it implies their inputs are also the same. That is what we learn from the visual explanation, that the input has a distinct element in the output. This will be the output 1 over wherever we see x, we put a plus 3, and that is equal to 1 over b plus 3. Now, since the numerators are the same, we can equate the denominators. So a plus 3 equals b plus 3. Then we can subtract 3 from both sides, and get a equals b. Since f of a equals f of b, it implies that a equals b, and therefore the function is one-to-one. Now let's take another example. Example 2. Show or prove that the function h, which is defined as 2 over x squared plus 3, is one-to-one. Here we have h of x equals 2 over x squared plus 3. We have to show that which therefore implies A equals B. And therefore, what we do is that this is the output for A. We have A squared plus 3 and 2 over B squared plus 3. We can cross multiply that way and get this will be equal to B squared plus 3 equals 2 times A squared plus 3. Because we have 2 on both sides, we can cancel that, and this will be equal to B squared plus 3 equals A squared plus 3. We can subtract 3 from both sides. This will be equal to B squared equals A squared. Now, at this point, we can find the square root of both sides. So we find the square root of B squared, and that will be equal to the square root of A squared. If we turn it around, we have A equals the square root is plus or minus B squared. This is because the square root of any number is the plus or minus. Now, here, what it means is that we have A equals B and A equals minus B. It means that one value in the domain has 2 images in the codomain. This means that the function 2 over x squared plus 3 is not injective, or we say it is not 1 to 1. You can try your hands on prove or show that the function g of x equals x squared minus 4 over x squared for x greater than 0 is 1 to 1. And leave your answer in the comment section. I'll also leave a comment in the description. See you in my next lesson.